My name is John Rice. I'm the head football coach at Eisenhower High School in Rialto, California. Today we're going to be showing an offensive line drill package for any offense. First thing we're going to talk about is planning and executing drills for all positions. The first thing we want to do is determine the specific skill that we're trying to perfect, the skill that we see in the game. Question to ask ourselves is, does the drill incorporate one skill or more than one skill? In other words, should I teach component parts of this drill separately, individually, and then build and put them together into one drill? Second, we need to develop a progression to teach and perfect the drill. Number one, let's assume we're going to take a running back handoff for the inside zone and break off a defensive lineman. That would involve three skills. The first step would be to introduce or rep skill A, which is taking the proper approach steps for the running back. We would introduce and rep that skill only. Then to build, we would introduce skill B, which would be to take the proper handoff, forming the pocket and squeezing the ball. So then we would teach the proper steps and taking the handoff. And then skill C would be to read the lineman to the play side of the zone and break opposite his technique. So then we would rep skill A, B, and C, the steps, the handoff, and cutting opposite the lineman's technique. If we take this approach in our drills, they're going to be more effective and they're going to help us do better in the skills we're trying to put together. The next thing we need to make sure that we do is to introduce the drill to the participants in a specific manner so that everybody understands and we get the best benefit out of the drill. We clearly want to demonstrate each step and technique of the drill. We want to show the participants and not tell. If we do this, we can save a lot of headaches and wasted time. We want to set up the drill, the other participants in the drill, their roles, reactions, and expectations, so that when we run the drill, we teach them how to participate, to switch roles. Then we want to demonstrate well thought out drill rotation for the participants. Number four, we want to determine the drill mode to be taught during practice. Is it going to be teaching mode, half speed, or full speed? And then we want to give relevant and meaningful feedback either on the run during the drill or in practice review sessions. The next thing we want to do is make sure when we have a drill, we want to get the most meaningful repetitions as possible. Instead of having one or two players benefit in the drill and have other players stand around, we're always trying to find ways to maximize our teaching and learning. And so here's an example of having three running backs set up with three linemen and three defensive linemen. And this is a simple drill, but if we set up three repetitions at once, we can get 3 times the work, 3 times the feedback. For example, the running back cuts off the offensive lineman's block, the defender sheds a block and goes and makes a tackle. And this way we can get 3 reps instead of 1, and we can coach on the run and more kids can get some benefit out of the drills. All right, in the offensive line progression, we have several groups and categories of drills. Let's start with the warm-ups. First thing we're going to do is our pipes drill, which we got from Coach West at Clemson. We're just taking lead and trail step. We're using the pipes here, and the pipes have a little angle off, so they have to step their second trail step over it. We're trying to lead step over here into the tire, and we're trying to keep a wide base and go down the line with our hips down, taking short, choppy steps. So over here, we're working lead steps, okay? And over here, we're working the opposite way. So we're lead stepping here to the left, we're lead stepping here to the right. So we're working on 2 different directions to warm up. We usually do this during pre-practice. It's called a pipes drill and the little tires, and we got that from Ron West at Clemson. Good warm-up drill every day to teach demeanor off the ball, proper steps. Again, the first step is a lead step, the second step is a trail step. So now we're working front side of a zone, stepping to the right here for a zone to the right, and stepping zone left to a step to a zone to the left side over here. There's 2 sets of steps that are critical in this drill, and the first one is the lead step. So we put something here on this side of the pipe, and the pipe is at an angle, and it forces them to get a certain size step upfield at an angle. They really want to pound that in. The second step forces them to get sufficient movement, and that's why we use these little tires. Lead step, trail step. Lead step, trail step. Again, and we're going zone right here. Now we're going to work backside zone step technique. If we're going to the backside, okay? This is backside of the zone. We're going a trail step and a lead step. So it's zone to the right here and zone to the left here. Zone to the right, this is a backside tackle or guard. Taking a trail step here to gain ground as maybe a bucket step, some people call it, on a wider technique to cut him off. Zone to the right, zone to the left. These are backside linemen. Okay? Lead step is not in this drill. It's a trail step. Trail step first. Trail bucket step, and then get the second step down and up the field to cut him off. Okay? A wide bucket step, some people call it trail step. Backside of a zone. So this is a backside zone drill. Backside. Trail step, lead step. Up the boards versus a shade technique, we're going to run in both directions. Okay? We're a shade technique, we're going to step wide and go up the boards, keeping our wide base, short choppy steps, driving up the field. Here we go, the steps are coming to the right, so we're shaded to our offensive right. Here we're shaded to the left. We're going to take a wide step and go up the field as in a wide shade. Okay, the boards represent the track we have to take, and we're taking a wide lead step and going up the boards. A wide lead step, going up the boards. Okay, now we're going to add a pad. We're going to take a wide lead step and come up with our demeanor to the man we're going to block and get inside hands. Okay, wide lead step, up, choppy feet, drive him upfield. So this is the next progression. Now we're going to the right. Same thing. Single blocks. Wide technique, lead step to the outside. Now we're going to the left. Okay. We're shaded to the left. We're going to take a wide step and get upfield. Board angles, we're just proper footwork to a wide base. We're going to go both directions. We're going to take a very wide step and drive to the outside. This would be a single block by a tackle in a zone scheme to the right, where he's man blocking on a tackle, a defensive end. Okay, or when everybody's covered up on the line of scrimmage in a 5-2 and everybody's got a single block. Okay, we're going to zone step to the left on a wide technique and go down the line. Zone step, lead step to the left on a single block. To the right. This would be an example of where everybody's covered up on the line, or blitzing linebackers are walked up, and our zone combos are no longer effective here, and everybody has to man up on an outside shade. We're going to use get-off steps on various courses. Okay, here's a drive block. We're going to use this pre-practice where they're working on their proper steps, first steps. Here's an angle or a down step. After we drive block, we're angle or down. Everybody's got to work on down blocks. We're just taking a proper course. Emphasis on proper stance, first step, and follow through. The next step in the progression would be a reach or a zone step. And you would do this with a series of linemen. You could do it 2 at a time. You could do it 5 at a time. And then you would go back the opposite direction. Here's a pull. Okay, and also would pull to the other side as well. Then we would pass, draw, set, and step off up the field. Pass, set, draw, up the field. Again, you would repeat those to both directions. This is a fast feet drill and warm-up. We want to get our feet up and down in a quick manner before the line of scrimmage. As many quick steps as you can in whatever zone scheme or man-to-man scheme you're blocking. Trying to get our feet up and down. Short, choppy steps with a lot of power before we hit the line of scrimmage, before we contact with the lineman. Trying to teach short, quick, choppy steps. Ladder drills for the linemen. Going to try to get them to get their feet moving early in practice. One in the hole, shoulders down, butt down in a football position. Quick arm movement. On the way back, we're going to go one in the hole, alternating in a lateral movement. And we're going to go both sides to save time. We can use the ladder to its full extent with two people using it at one time. And now we're going to go opposite foot, going one in a hole, going back. We're going to work a strike and extend drill to teach hitting a defensive lineman. We're going to use quick hands drill first, and then we're going to extend on the third one. So quick hands, extend. Strike, strike, extend. That's the progression. Strike, strike, and extend to teach full hip extension. Strike, strike, extend. Again, strike, strike, extend. Use your hips, get the hips extended. Here's a tap lift drill, which is using half of your combo per side, and what you're trying to do is simulate taking half of a combo and keeping your arm and gap side free in case somebody comes off. So you're driving with one side of your body, you're zoning up on half a man, and then you're keeping your arm free over here in case somebody comes off and you have to get a piece of them when they come off a zone combo. Again, we got this from Coach West at Clemson. He calls it a tap lift. And we're working on half a man, short steps here, up in the crotch, driving with our hand and arm free away from the defender. And we want to work this drill to both sides. Again, we've only working it to the left side here. This is a first step drill. You can use this in mass and teach this in lines with 5 or 10 linemen at a time. First step for the drive block, you're just working on first step only in demeanor. You want to use both feet. Use this to both sides. Now angle block. So the progression is drive, down, down. Want to use it to both sides as well. Now we're going for a reach or a zone step. Of course, these are all to the left. You want to do them to both sides. Okay, the next progression would be a pull to the left. See how he throws the elbow back and gets square to perpendicular in line of scrimmage. First step on a quick pass set, 90 pass set. You want to run these to both sides in both directions, and you can teach them in mass. Sled explosion drill to teach explosion for the linemen. It's an old-fashioned drill where you're just getting into the sled, perhaps at the end of practice when they're a little bit tired, teaching them to keep their hips down, proper demeanor, good wide base, driving the sled up the field. Here we're using zone steps. We're stepping off to the left. If you can see it, we're stepping to the left here, getting an angle. You could do that for a zone to the right as well to teach them to take their proper reach steps. You want to include the tight ends in this drill as well. Again, you're emphasizing a wide base, power short steps, and driving the lineman upfield. A little drill for blocking back. We want to block back both directions. This would be an example of the center blocking back for trap or counter using the boards. First step, proper angle, proper demeanor. Tackle may block back if a tight end is pulling. In a scheme, you want to use that for all linemen, both directions. Here's some drills using the chutes. Here's some two-man chutes, teaching linemen to stay low and get off the ball. Of course, the nature of the chute makes them do that. Here, taking short, choppy steps, getting underneath the lineman and just driving. Emphasis is on getting hands and arms back, shooting your guns. If you watch, their elbows will come back. And they're getting into the lineman or the sled and driving up. Short, choppy steps with a good base. Don't want to get their feet too close together. They can get pushed left or right and knocked off their balance. Just a quick release drill. First step, you'll see their elbows come back. They'll hesitate, go forward, drive, get up under the defender, and chop their feet. Keep their feet moving. Here's a chute drive drill just to teach to come out of the chute low and drive. Stay low. Board is a reach step, taking a defender and just driving him with a wide base downfield. Again, the defenders are down low. The linemen are going to take a reach step. They're going to take a reach step to the right, come up the boards, get into the frame of the defender and drive him upfield. Forces the lineman to stay low while taking their reach steps. Come off the ball. The boards force them to keep a wide base. And they get out in open field. They're in a low position. They want to drive the lineman upfield.